Welcome everyone. I'm 𝗂𝗶𝘀𝗃 and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, Mastering Email Security with Cisco, Modern Threats, Smarter Defenses. Presenting today's topic is 𝗂𝗶𝘀𝗃𝗀. Philip is a seasoned IT instructor with over 10 years of industry experience. He's a certified trainer with AI certs, Cisco, CompTIA, PMI, and Microsoft. He specializes in delivering engaging hands-on training that simplifies complex concepts and empowers learners to achieve their certification and career goals across key domains, including networking, cybersecurity, cloud technologies, and project management. Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. And today's presentation is from the security practice area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. This webinar will explore advanced strategies for protecting organizational communication layers against evolving cyber threats like phishing, ransomware, BEC, and zero-day attacks powered by Cisco email security technologies. Attendees will gain insights into how AI-driven threat intelligence, layered defense mechanisms, and zero-trust principles can be used to stop modern attacks before they reach the inbox and strengthen enterprise-wide email security posture. Now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the Handouts section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early, and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Philip, thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tracy. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session titled Securing the Inbox, Proactive Email Defense with Cisco. My name is 𝗂𝗶𝘀𝗃𝗀𝗀, and I'm a Cisco certified instructor here with Netcom Learning. In today's session, we're going to explore how to strengthen your organization's email security using some of Cisco's modern intelligence tools and strategies. So we're going to focus here on proactive defense mechanisms that go beyond your traditional spam filters to stop threats before they cause damage. So throughout this webinar, I'll walk you through some real-world scenarios, the evolving threat landscape, Cisco's layered architecture, and just some best practices for protecting the inbox. So whether you're a network admin, cybersecurity analyst, or just an IT decision maker, this session is going to be designed to give you more actionable insight into defending one of your most targeted assets, your email system. So let's go ahead and get started. And now, before we dive into today's content, let's take a look at our agenda for today. We'll be examining the evolving threat landscape to understand why email remains the most targeted attack vector. Next, we're going to explore the Cisco security architecture for emails, including the key components that form a layered defense strategy. After that, we're going to cover some advanced protection techniques like threat intelligence integration, sandboxing, and also intelligent filtering. We'll then review several real-world examples to see how Cisco's tools have detected and blocked threats in real time. Following that, we'll share best practices for deployment, policy configuration, just to ensure that your environment is optimized for protection. And throughout the session, I'll provide you with a bunch of definitions, some visuals, technical explanations, so that we can get a better understanding and better practical insights there. And then we'll close out the session with an open Q&A. So just feel free to jot down questions as we move along here with the webinar. Great. So let's get started here with why email security matters more than ever. And we know email remains the #1 vector for cyber attacks currently. And this means that the majority of successful cyber attacks begin with a single email. And the inbox has become a digital battleground that attackers know it's the easiest way into organizations. But it's not just spam anymore. Threats have evolved into much more dangerous forms, including business email compromise or BEC. We've seen ransomware and also phishing attacks. And BEC scams tricks users into transferring funds by impersonating executives or trusted vendors. And ransomware encrypts your files and demands a ransom payment to restore access. And then, of course, phishing attacks, they often include fake login pages that steal usernames and passwords. All of these are launched via email because users are more likely to trust and interact with messages that appear legitimate. And because of this trust, traditional email filters alone are no longer sufficient. Now, organizations have to adopt proactive email defense strategies that prevent threats before they even reach the user. So we're going to cover a few different Cisco solutions that are designed specifically to meet this new level of threat sophistication. Okay. And to begin, more than 90% of all cyber attacks, like we just covered, begin with email. And that's a staggering statistic, and it highlights just how vulnerable our inboxes are. And attackers choose email because it's low cost, easy to scale, and most importantly, it works. Some of the most common email-based attacks include phishing, ransomware, and business email compromise, like we just saw. Okay, and again, email is trusted, making it an easy target. We see this all the time. We get spam email in our inboxes showing up. It's links or malicious attachments that try to redirect us to these spoofed websites where these websites can appear to be the real deal, and then they're just there to steal our credentials. So what we're going to see is how emails over time have evolved into a more dangerous attack vector. So looking at some of the more modern threat actors and what they're doing, they become more creative, they become stealthy, and more persistent than ever before. And they use a variety of tactics to bypass traditional security and manipulate users into thinking or taking harmful actions. So let's take a closer look at some of the most common tactics here. So first one's going to be the most common, of course. We have spoofing and impersonation. This is when an attacker forges the sender's address or uses a lookalike domain to appear as someone the recipient trusts, like a CEO or a vendor. Next is URL redirection. This tactic hides a malicious site behind a harmless looking link, and the link may redirect after the user clicks, sometimes even bypassing security tools that scan the original destination. Then there are attachment-based payloads. These can be Word docs, Excel files, or PDFs with embedded scripts or macros that download malware when open. Another clever trick is delayed malware detonation. The file may initially appear safe and pass through filters, but it activates its malicious code minutes or hours later once inside the system. Okay, and now we're even seeing AI-driven impersonation as well, where attackers are using artificial intelligence to generate convincing messages that mimic the tone, style, and content of real individuals or organizations. And these tactics are highly effective because they exploit both technical gaps as well as human behavior. So this is why organizations must use equally advanced technologies like machine learning, behavioral analysis, and also threat intelligence to detect and stop these attacks as soon as we can. Okay, moving a bit forward, we're going to see that Cisco takes a proactive layered approach to email security. This means moving beyond traditional spam filters and moving more towards a comprehensive threat prevention. So instead of simply reacting to known threats, Cisco focuses on early detection, real-time analysis, and automated blocking. One key tool is machine learning, which allows the system to recognize abnormal user behavior, message content, and sending patterns. For example, if an employee suddenly starts receiving emails from a foreign domain they've never communicated with, machine learning models can flag that behavior as suspicious. Next, Cisco uses reputation analysis. This involves evaluating IP addresses, domains, and URLs against known threat data. If a domain has been associated with malicious activity globally, Cisco blocks it automatically. Another crucial component is threat intelligence powered by Cisco tools. 𝗂𝗏 continuously gathers data from millions of endpoints around the world and feeds it into Cisco security tools. This allows the system to identify and neutralize both known and emerging threats in real time. So the result is smarter, faster, more adaptive email security strategies that stops the attack before it reaches the user altogether. And this is what makes Cisco solutions so proactive, because now the threat isn't even reaching the inbox, we're stopping it before it can make it there. It doesn't just react to the attack, it anticipates them. So Cisco's secure email architecture is built to provide complete layer protection at every stage of email delivery. And this architecture includes three primary components: the secure email gateway, the cloud mailbox defense, and 𝗂𝘀𝗏. Let's start off with our secure email gateway first. This sits at the perimeter of your network and inspects all incoming and outgoing email traffic. It blocks known threats like spam, viruses, and phishing before they reach your internal systems. And next, we also have cloud mailbox defense, which works inside cloud email platforms like Microsoft 365. It offers post-delivery detection and remediation, scanning messages that may have bypassed perimeter defenses. For example, if a previously benign email is later determined to be malicious, Cloud Mailbox can quarantine or delete it after delivery. And the final piece is 𝗂𝘀𝗏. This is Cisco's security operations platform. 𝗂𝘀𝗏 integrates data from all Cisco security tools, providing centralized visibility, automation, and instant response capabilities. It connects your email security with endpoint protection, firewalls, and more, enabling faster coordinated defenses. So together, these components are going to provide inline protection, behavioral detection, and automated response, a complete solution for defending the inbox. Okay, and Cisco's architecture ensures no single point of failure, and that every phase of the email lifecycle is going to be protected. Now, Cisco's email security is supercharged by real-time threat intelligence from Cisco 𝗂𝗏. So 𝗂𝗏 is one of the world's largest commercial threat intelligence organizations. It monitors activities across the internet, including email, web traffic, DNS, and endpoints, to identify malicious behavior. And this global intelligence feeds directly into Cisco's email security systems. So when 𝗂𝗏 sees a phishing attack launched in Europe, for example, that information is immediately used to protect systems worldwide, including yours. And the integration includes dynamic block lists, which automatically prevent access to known malicious IPs and domains. It also includes reputation engines that score senders based on their history or of safe or unsafe behavior. And this allows Cisco to stop bad actors even before a specific attack is identified. Additionally, the intelligence is used to correlate patterns across billions of messages, identifying emerging campaigns and tactics early. And this proactive use of intelligence provides us with a very critical advantage. It allows your defenses to evolve as fast as the threats do. So with 𝗂𝗏 integrated, Cisco's email protection is always informed, always learning, and always improving. Machine learning also plays a major role in Cisco's proactive defense. It allows the system to detect abnormal activity by analyzing patterns in real time. Rather than relying only on known attack signatures, machine learning can spot subtle anomalies in user behavior or email characteristics. For example, the system might notice that a user is logged in from a new geographic location at an unusual hour, a sign of an account compromise. Or it may see that an email contains slightly altered wording that mimics an internal executive, another red flag for impersonation. Machine learning also evaluates message metadata, frequency of communication, and formatting patterns. If something deviates slightly from the norm, the system can flag it for review, block it outright, or even route it to quarantine. So what makes this so powerful is that it's adaptive. The model continues to learn and refine itself based on new information. Over time, the system becomes more accurate in distinguishing legitimate communications from threats, and this results in fewer false positives and a much higher likelihood of catching advanced targeted attacks. With machine learning, Cisco email security becomes smarter with every message it analyzes. Hey, next, we have some advanced URL filtering. So with Cisco's URL filtering, we're going to protect users from malicious links, even when the destination looks legitimate. And attackers often hide malware behind shortened links or redirect users to phishing pages after an email is passed through traditional filters. And Cisco combats this with advanced URL analysis at multiple stages. When an email arrives, Cisco scans embedded URLs using real-time threat intelligence and machine learning. Each URL is analyzed for suspicious patterns, such as known phishing domains, newly registered sites, or uncommon redirection change. If the URL is flagged at high risk, the system will automatically block the message or strip the link down. Even if the link seems clean initially, Cisco continues to monitor it post-delivery. If the destination site becomes malicious later, the system can still block the user from visiting it. This is known as a time of click protection. Okay, and this type of filtering helps stop credential theft, malware downloads, and even access to exploit kits. And it's especially important against advanced threats that use delayed activation to avoid initial scanning. Okay, and like we said, advanced URL filtering ensures that users stay protected, not just at the time of delivery, but also at the time of interaction. Next, we have attachment sandboxing, and sandboxing is one of Cisco's most powerful tools for detecting hidden malware. And now here's how it works. When an email includes a suspicious attachment, Cisco doesn't just scan it, it runs it. Okay, and the file is opened and executed in a virtual environment, also known as a sandbox that mimics a real operating system. And this allows the system to observe how the file behaves without putting any actual user or device at risk. If the attachment tries to download malware after system files, or alter the system files, or even contact the command and control server, the sandbox flags it as malicious. And it doesn't matter whether the malware is new or unknown. Sandboxing reveals the behavior, not just the signature. And this technique is extremely effective against zero-day threats, polymorphic malware, and even advanced persistent threats, or APTs. Once a threat is identified, Cisco blocks the file and prevents it from ever reaching the inbox. And this information is also shared across Cisco's global intelligence network to protect other customers. This behavioral analysis ensures that even the most well-disguised malicious files are detected and stopped. Okay, and the attachment sandboxing adds an essential layer of defense against file-based attacks there. So it's a virtual space that's not attached to our network that lets us test and scan for malware without having to risk any malicious files getting brought back to our network. We're testing things in a virtual spot off of our network, off premise. Next, we have here BEC, that's your business email compromise. And BEC is one of the most financially damaging types of email attacks. It involves an attacker impersonating a trusted person, such as a company executive, a vendor, a partner, and the goal is to usually trick the recipient into transferring money, sending sensitive data, or even granting access to internal systems. Now, Cisco uses advanced tools to detect and block these impersonation attempts. One of the key technologies is the use of identity graphs. These track communication patterns between users. If an email suddenly appears from a domain that mimics a known contact or uses a similar name, the system flags it as suspicious. It can also detect subtle anomalies in tone, wording, or formatting, especially if AI-generated content is being used. Cisco also alerts users when a potential impersonation is detected, adding banners or quarantine warnings to suspicious messages. In addition, authentication tools like SPF, DKIM, and also DMARC help validate sender identity and stop spoofed emails. With these combined technologies, Cisco gives organizations strong protection against CEO fraud, vendor spoofing, or even executive impersonation. And this ensures that users are alerted before they act on a deceptive message. And again, it's another critical defense layer, especially as these types of attacks continue to grow in frequency as well as sophistication. So let's walk through a real-world example of how Cisco stopped an attack before it even caused any damage. In this case that we're covering here, an attacker spoofed an email address to look like it was from a payment source. So we have the email address payments@𝗂𝗀𝗏.com. The email appeared to be a legitimate request from the company's finance department. It included a link that, if clicked, it would have delivered a ransomware payload. And the goal was to trick an employee into clicking the link and silently infecting the system. But here's what actually happened instead. Cisco's email security platform immediately detected signs of spoofing. The domain didn't pass SPF or DKIM or even the DMARC authentication checks. Additionally, Cisco's reputation engine flagged the sending IP as being associated with malicious activity. Before the user could even see the message, the email was blocked at the gateway. Okay, and the malicious link never made it to the employee's inbox. And this is a great example of how Cisco used layered security. We had domain validation, reputation checks, and as well as threat intelligence to stop the attack in real time. So again, proactive defense is not just about detection, it's about prevention here instead. It was able to notice the email was not legitimate. It was able to see that it included a link that would deliver ransomware. So it didn't pass any of the authentication checks, and the IP address was flagged as being associated with malicious activity. So rather than the email even reaching the inbox, the email was blocked immediately, and we had no interaction with it at all. So Cisco's internal systems did all the work for us. Another example here, in this case study, the email initially appeared harmless, but it turned out to be a hidden threat. So how it worked was a user received a message with a suspicious-looking document attached. At first glance, the file didn't trigger any alerts. It passed initial security checks and was delivered to the inbox. However, hours later, Cisco's cloud-based threat intelligence received new data linking the file to a broader phishing campaign. Okay, the document contained a hidden link to a site that had been weaponized after the email was sent. And thanks to Cisco's cloud mailbox defense, the system was able to take action even after delivery. Cisco automatically quarantined the message, preventing the user from accessing the dangerous content. The platform also generated an alert to the security team and provided the threat details for investigation. And this is an example of post-delivery remediation, which is, again, very critical in today's dynamic threat environment. Sometimes threats evolve after the email is sent and delivered, which is why having the ability to act on emails that are already in the inbox is essential. And Cisco gives you that visibility and control, reducing dwell time and minimizing the window of exposure. So now we're seeing examples of acting on the email before it gets delivered to the inbox, while it gets delivered, and now after delivery. So Cisco can do it all for us in terms of before, during, and after the attack. Okay, so now let's talk about how to configure your email security policies for maximum protection. And there are a few best practices that every organization should follow to harden their email environment. So first, we want to enforce SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. Okay, these are email authentication protocols that help verify the sender's identity. So SPF checks if the sending IP is authorized by the domain. Okay, so we're seeing if the IP address is authorized. 𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗃 adds a digital signature to prove the message has not been tampered with. So we want to verify the integrity of the message now, making sure it hasn't been altered or changed in any way, shape, or form. And then 𝗂𝗃 gives instructions on what to do if a message fails SPF or 𝗂𝗀𝗃 authentication checks, such as rejected or quarantined. So 𝗂𝗃 is the action taken if the message is deemed as unsafe. Next, make sure TLS encryption is enabled for transport layer security. This enables and ensures that emails are encrypted in transit, protecting data from any interception. Then we want to configure DLP, your data loss prevention, to stop sensitive information like credit card numbers or customer data from being sent out inappropriately. You should also configure quarantine settings to hold suspicious messages instead of delivering them directly to the user. This gives admins time to renew and review or even release or block messages as needed. Finally, review these policies regularly and test them to make sure that they align with your security objectives and compliance requirements. With the right policies in place, you create a strong foundation for a secure and more resilient email infrastructure. Now, we know a single line of defense is no longer enough in today's threat landscape. This is why almost everywhere, especially Cisco, recommends a layered email defense strategy, a multi-tiered approach to stop threats at every stage. So this strategy combines gateway protection, cloud-based analysis, and endpoint security tools. And at this gateway level, Cisco's secure email gateway scans incoming messages for known threats like spam, malware, and phishing. Within the cloud environment, tools like Cloud Mailbox Defense perform post-delivery analysis and remediation. So this means threats can be neutralized even after they landed in the inbox, like we just saw. On the endpoint side, Cisco Secure Endpoint provides additional protection by monitoring file execution and behavior. But layered technology isn't just enough. Human factors are going to matter too. So Cisco recommends integrating email defenses with SIEM or SOAR platforms for centralized monitoring and automated response. And just as important as user training is going to be the top of the food chain here. Employees should be educated on how to identify phishing emails, suspicious links, and social engineering tactics. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's the human factor that are clicking these links, that are giving out sensitive details over phone calls, things like that. So proper training of social awareness, that goes a long way in preventing a lot of these attacks from happening. So with people, processes, and technology working together, this layered approach can greatly reduce the risk. It ensures your defenses are both deep and adaptive, capable of responding to known threats and the ones that we haven't seen yet. So again, having a layered approach just means having a multi-tiered defense. We don't want to have a single point of failure anymore. It's not good enough. Today's threat landscape is so evolved. We need to have two-factor, multi-factor authentication so that we have layers of defenses to slow a hacker down so that we can stop them before they can escalate into something much worse. And one of the most important features of Cisco's email security solutions is the visibility it provides. Security teams can't protect what they can't see, and Cisco makes sure nothing goes unnoticed. So through the SecureX dashboard, admins get a real-time view of email activity and threats. And this includes metrics such as threat types, volumes, sender reputation, as well as blocked attempts. And you can see how many phishing emails are blocked, how many messages were quarantined, and even who clicked on potentially dangerous links. And this is going to be critical for identifying trends, investigating incidents, and refining your policies over time. SecureX also enables integration with other Cisco and third-party tools, creating a centralized view across your entire security stack. And this helps reduce alert fatigue by correlating events and surfacing only the most relevant information. In addition, Cisco provides compliance reporting features, which are essential for regulated industries like healthcare, finance, and government. You can generate reports for audits, policy enforcement, and user behavior to demonstrate that proper controls are in place. In short, Cisco's visibility and reporting tools turn data into action, helping you understand what's happening, why it matters, and what to do next. So again, Cisco Secure X is just a visible dashboard that admins can get real-time views of email activity and threats, and it's very user-friendly. It correlates everything for us. It shows us sender reputation, blocked attempts. It shows us everything in real time. So it's one single vantage point that we can go to monitor all of our security alerts and see what's being blocked, so we can take proactive measures and what to do next. Hey, now let's look at a simple checklist to guide your email security implementation. And these steps are designed to help you get started quickly and securely. So first, you're going to want to choose your deployment model. You'll need to decide between on-premise, cloud, or hybrid, depending on your existing infrastructure and compliance needs. After we get our deployment model, you next want to integrate it with Microsoft 365 or your current email provider. Cisco solutions are designed to work seamlessly with cloud platforms like 365 or Google Workspace. Then we want to define all of your policies and alerts. Make sure your SPF, DKIM, and DMARC are in place, set up quarantine thresholds, and automated alerting for risky behavior or threats. After our policies are defined, you'll also want to train your users, because again, even with the best technology, it still can be bypassed if users aren't educated. Run phishing simulations, conduct regular security training awareness sessions. Just make sure your employees are educated, because it just takes one or two people to fall prey to this stuff. And then the next thing you know, devices are being compromised, malware spreading from one device to another, and it's a whole bad scenario now. So we want to train users, because again, even the best technology can still be bypassed. Users are going to be that entry point for this. And also verify that TLS encryption is enabled to protect your data in transit. Deploy DLP and content filtering rules tailored to your industry's compliance standards. And finally, test everything. Perform a simulated attack, review your reports, and make adjustments as needed. So again, by following this checklist, you'll build a very proactive, layered email security foundation that protects your users, your data, and of course, your organization's reputation. Doing this is going to keep and establish trust with all of your customers. Hey, so once your email security system is in place, it's important to monitor the right metrics. And these metrics help you assess effectiveness, identify trends, and also detect any potential vulnerabilities. Then the first key metric is quarantine volume. This tells you how many messages are being flagged and held back by your filters. A high quarantine volume can indicate a wave of phishing or malware attacks, or it could suggest your filters need fine-tuning. Next, track spoofing attempts. Monitoring how often attackers try to impersonate your domain or executives is critical for defending against business email compromise. Okay, another important metric is the malicious link click rate. This shows how often users are clicking on links that have been flagged as dangerous. If click rates are high, that's a sign that users may need more training or that social engineering attempts are very convincing. Lastly, monitor your detection to response time. This is how quickly your systems detect a threat and take actions, whether it's blocking, quarantining, or alerting your team. The faster the response, the smaller the window of risk. And together, these metrics provide a clear picture of how well your defenses are performing and where you might need to improve. Also, regularly reviewing these KPIs are going to help ensure that your email security systems stay strong and adaptive to the latest trends and threats out there. And lastly here, we know cyber threats, they're constantly evolving. So your email security strategies need to evolve as well. And future proofing means taking proactive steps today to stay resilient against tomorrow's threats. One of the most important strategies is adopting a zero trust model. And this approach assumes no user or device is trustworthy by default. Every email, every login, and every action must be verified. Next, consider moving to a cloud-delivered security solution. Cloud-based tools update faster, they scale easily, and offer more real-time protection than on-prem systems. They also integrate better with software as a service platforms like Microsoft 365, making them ideal for hybrid and remote workforces. Regularly update your policies as well. Threat tactics change, and so should your email rules, your filtering thresholds, and user permissions. Reevaluate quarantine rules, alert settings, and data loss prevention policies at least quarterly. Additionally, keep user awareness training up to date. Phishing simulations, short videos, gamified learning can all reinforce good habits. Lastly, align with industry frameworks like NIST or CIS controls to benchmark your progress and close gaps. Again, future proofing isn't just a one-time task, it's a continuous process of improvement. And with Cisco tools and a strong strategy, you can stay ahead of even the most advanced email threats. Okay, so now that we've covered all of our key topics, let's open it up here for questions. And if you have any questions about Cisco's email security architecture, threat detection techniques, or even deployment strategies, feel free to ask here. No questions going to be too basic or too advanced. So whatever you guys need to know, I'll be happy to clarify here. You can also share scenarios that you might have faced, challenges that your organization's seen. So let's just take a few minutes here. We'll have a quick discussion, and we'll make sure everyone walks away here with a clearer understanding. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat here, and let's take it from here.
Thank you, Philip. That was very informative. Now, I know everyone is looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting in your questions into the question panel. And while you're doing that, I'd like to give the presentation rights over to Natika Singh, our Deputy Manager Product Marketing, who's going to introduce our promotions and webinar-related courses.
Thank you for extending the opportunity to speak with the audience today. I hope the session was informative and it added value to your learning experience. You can watch the event recording by clicking the Access Recording button here. Now, I would like to highlight Netcom learning capabilities and why we are the best when it comes to training and learning services, recognized by Microsoft as the winners of the Partner of the Year awards 2 years in a row. 2023 and 2022, we excel in guiding organizations to achieve peak performance while addressing their challenges through comprehensive organizational learning solutions. Our dedication since 1998 has led us to service over 80% of Fortune 1000 companies and served 100 plus US military bases. We have trained over 1 million professionals and helped 36,000 plus organizations achieve their business goals. We have a huge portfolio of more than 3,300 certified trainers who are subject matter experts in their domains. Our dedication to providing customized learning methods is why we are awarded as the top 20 IT training companies by trainingindustry.com. Moving ahead, being a platinum learning partner of Cisco, I would like to announce our upcoming schedules of Cisco training that you can explore through this handout. To add value to your learning curve, we encourage you to leverage free on-demand training and blog on Cisco certifications. If you would like to maximize your Cisco ROI with unlimited access to in-depth training and hands-on labs, then enroll in our Cisco U Essentials and Cisco U All Access subscriptions. Cisco U is a digital learning experience that recommends personalized content for each learner spanning through Cisco and Cisco adjacent technologies, including unlimited access to hands-on labs. Cisco U is more than just a digital learning subscription. It's a thriving community of learners and creators for learning and growing. As a Cisco Platinum Learning Partner, Netcom Learning helps organizations purchase authorized Cisco training with Cisco Learning credits to increase the technical competencies of their employees and deliver greater technology returns. Cisco Learning Credits, or CLCs, are prepaid training vouchers redeemed directly with Cisco that help you purchase, redeem, and manage Cisco training courses. You can use your CLCs to upgrade your team's expertise with our authorized Cisco training available for public and private training schedules. You can also take the advantage from Learning Passport, which is Netcom Learning solution, to flexible team training. It is designed to be customized for the number of learners you train on top technology vendors like Microsoft, Cisco, CompTIA, Adobe, and more. The single package can be redeemed for over 4,000 plus official courses with a validity of 12 months. I would like to introduce you to Netcom Plus Learner subscription, which is complimentary for all the attendees. Netcom Plus provides you access to more than 400 e-learning courses across various technologies and vendors. I would recommend you all to visit Netcom Learning's website for more information on our courses and certifications, free virtual events, our latest blogs and ebooks, and promotion offers. If you want to build a smarter workforce and drive business growth, I highly recommend you go through the book Building an Innovative Learning Organization by Russell Sarder, CEO of Netcom Learning. You can easily find this book on Amazon. For the latest updates on IT and business training, follow us and subscribe to our social media handles. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that valuable information, Natika. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. If you haven't yet, it's not too late to pop your questions into the question panel. And as we start our Q&A sessions, we're also going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us to know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register. What's the main difference between Cisco Secure Email Gateway and Cisco Secure Email Cloud Mailbox?
Perfect. Very good question. So the Cisco Secure Email Gateway is a full-featured appliance based or cloud-hosted solution that acts as a security perimeter to inspect, block, and quarantine malicious emails before they reach your email server. So the Secure Email Gateway is acting before, okay? And it's going to be ideal for organizations that want granular control, advanced policies, and gateway-level protection. In contrast, the Cisco Secure Email Mailbox is a lightweight API-based solution designed specifically for Microsoft 365 environments, and it integrates natively with M365 through Graph APIs and also provides post-delivery detection. So think of secure email gateway as a before actor, where Cisco email security mailbox is going to be post-delivery detection and remediation.
How does Cisco use threat intelligence to block new and unknown email threats?
Very good. So Cisco leverages Talos, one of the largest commercial threat intelligence teams in the world, and Talos collects threat intelligence from over 600 billion daily email messages. Okay, they're filtering this stuff. They're gathering information and data every single day. They're gathering web traffic, DNS queries, endpoint information, and this data is continuously analyzed using machine learning, behavioral analytics, and human expert review to get us the most up-to-date and current information about the threat landscape. So Cisco secure emails also receive constant updates from Talos to block. We saw zero-day malware, emerging phishing campaigns, and malicious URLs and attachments. So again, how does threat intelligence or Cisco threat intelligence block new and unknown threats? Cisco uses Talos to do so. It's the largest, one of the largest threat intelligence teams in the world.
What types of business email compromise attacks does Cisco help prevent?
Okay, very good. So when it comes to BAC, your business email compromise, Cisco helps prevent multiple forms of these attacks, which often involve social engineering and impersonation. And we saw some examples of that include people trying to impersonate a CEO, a CFO. We saw vendor fraud, where attackers will impersonate known vendors to alter invoice payments. Lookalike domain spoofing. So we saw the example with the fake domain from payroll in the slides earlier. And we also saw display name spoofing, so using a trusted sender's name but a different email address. Cisco combats these with identity graphing to recognize legitimate internal senders, domain reputation filtering. We also saw authentication checks with SPF and DKIM. So again, Cisco stays proactive in this stuff when it comes to preventing all these BEC attacks. And a lot of times they do involve social engineering, they do involve impersonation and spoofing.
Can Cisco secure email detect threats that are activated after delivery, like delayed malware or time-bomb URLs?
A very good question. Yes, so Cisco's solution is equipped to detect post-delivery threats through a combination of advanced analytics, okay, and continuous monitoring. And a couple key features that help, we have URL rewriting and scanning. URLs are inspected at click time. If a previously benign URL becomes malicious later, Cisco can block access dynamically. We also have file reputation tracking. So attachments are sandboxed and behaviors analyzed. If malicious behavior is later identified, Cisco can retroactively quarantine the message after the incident was detected. Okay, and then we also covered SecureX integration. SecureX allows for automated incident response, such as removing malicious emails from multiple inboxes across the organization. So this approach ensures ongoing protection even after emails are delivered.
What are some key best practices when implementing Cisco Secure Email?
So a few best practices that I would say: enable sender authentication protocols. So very important. We want those protocols like SPF, DKIM, and DBARC to validate sender identity and reduce spoofing. Also, apply layered filtering. Move away from a single point of failure. Use both gateway level and post-delivery detection to catch threats across the email lifecycle. Set up secure transport and enable protocols like TLS for email traffic to prevent eavesdropping. Use sandboxing, like we covered, URL filtering. Okay, monitor and review reports. So we have that Cisco SecureX dashboard for threat analytics and compliance reporting. And always, of course, train your users and empower employees to recognize phishing attempts and report suspicious emails.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.